of Archaea, starring Donald Von Griffin as Avanti, Halfling Paladin, Emily as Ogilvy, Halfling Warlock, Craig as Jacob, the human, or the Varinyar, Lumberjack. Leslie as Zhuur-Al, the Zinjan Rogue, and Lloyd as Eldon, the Wood Elf Wizard. And I'm the GM, Brandon Blackmore. Wow, that was really loud. Okay, so when last we met, you guys were in the Flooded Market, and you'd met with Radu, who is a lizard folk information broker, which is perhaps not the first phrase that comes to mind when one hears the name lizard folk. Hey, I got a picture of him for you. Check this out. I photoshopped it a bit. So can you tell?
Right.
Yeah.
It's Photoshop.
He's very colorful.
There you go. He's got red and yellow markings and great big yellow eyes and great big teeth, and he hisses when he talks. But he seemed mostly interested in getting Lady Miroslava, the head of the Spyglass Society, where he could talk to her. And so he wants her to be present at the exchange when you turn over the book, the black book, as he referred to it. As you return it to the Spyglass Society, and he wants her there for that. And that's really all he wants from you, is for you to make sure that she's there. Other than that, he'll tell you what to do and where to go and how to arrange it and where to go and all this stuff. He can't do it because if she knows that he is involved, she won't be there. So you have to keep that a secret, because otherwise he won't get what he wants, in which case he's not going to help you, and the whole thing falls apart. Any questions about that so far? Is that too convoluted?
No.
No, that's actually.
I work in that kind of society. I work in that kind of society. This is I'm used to.
Okay. Given that you agreed to his deal, he'll tell you where Ilyana is, because he knows. He just isn't in a position to do anything about it.
Is she willing to turn the book over?
You'd have to ask her. Because again, he knows where she is, but he's not in a position to do anything about it. Kind of like Sergeant Pavel knew that Radu had a plan for things, but Sergeant Pavel can't go to the Flooded Market because he'd probably not be allowed to leave in one piece. So you guys,
he's corrupt police, but he's still police.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's pretty clear he's shady, as a couple of people have observed.
But he's still police.
But he's still police. He's still town watch. So he can't go to the Flooded Market. It's just not something he can do. And given your impression of him, you think he must be getting something out of it. But whatever it is, he's not getting it from you. So, yeah, that's a good thing, right? Sort of. All right. So he tells you can find... Actually, I already had this, and I've lost it again. The castle bathhouse.
A what?
The castle. It's a bathhouse called the castle.
Okay.
So people don't call it the castle bathhouse. I'm saying the castle bathhouse because if I just said the castle, you might think it was a castle. But that's not how it works. When people say the castle, everyone in Vanya Brana knows the castle is the name of bathhouse. it was at one point an actual castle. Like 300, 500 years ago, it was where the ruling family of Vani Brana lived. But that ruling family died out 200 years ago. And it became a bathhouse because it has hot springs underneath it, and it's really good for a bathhouse. Everyone in Vani Brana goes to the castle for the spas. It's actually really, really nice. And anybody who actually lives here has certainly been there more than once, because it's just a thing that you do. It's like living in New York and having pizza. You've done it. Everybody knows you've done it. It's not even a question. Hey, have you ever had pizza? Seriously? I live in New York. Of course I've had pizza. Yes, it's like that. Or Chicago. Chicago pizza. Philadelphia.
Chicago, New York, Detroit, they all got their pizzas and they all love them.
St. Louis has its own style.
St. Louis, where they have like spaghetti with chili on it? Okay.
No,
getting kind of off the topic.
That's
the castle is a bathhouse. It is huge and gorgeous and elaborate, and there's tile. It's significant. She's there, hiding in plain sight. That's what Radu tells you. So, find her, get the book. I'll send a courier with instructions on where to set up the meet. You will have to actually set up the meet, because again, if I do it, it won't happen. So you need to do it. But I'll tell you what to do via courier.
Okay.
He is really scary. Anybody here ever seen a lizard folk before? Just out of curiosity. You can simply decide whether you have or not.
I probably haven't.
No.
So nose all around then. You've heard of them.
Yes.
But because there's actually, within a couple of days travel of here, there's a sizable lizard folk population. But so you've heard of them, but this is the first one you met. You didn't think he'd be quite so colorfully patterned, for one thing.
For sure.
Probably most people think they'll be gray or green.
Didn't think he'd be quite so polite either.
They have a reputation for being cannibals.
I'm wondering if he wants to eat the owner of the Spyglass Society.
Well, I think that's basically between him and her.
Yeah.
Well, no. Not if he's a cannibal, because that means they eat their own kind.
Their own kind, yeah.
Okay, this is a world with multiple sentient beings. So
Okay.
cannibal means eating other sentient beings.
Yeah, okay.
Because we don't live in a, well, I mean, dolphins are, well, it doesn't matter. We don't live in that kind of society, so we don't really have a word for it. So we're using the word cannibal for that in this game.
Makes perfect sense.
Lázně Na Zámku is actually the name in the local parlance. Actually, what did I decide that meant? Oh, the castle spa is what that actually means. Lázně Na Zámku. You don't need to remember it. Just call it castle spa to be fine. But in the summaries, I'm going to use that because it's Romanian, and I like that. So, now what? Shoo.
We head
Let's
out.
go and find her.
Yeah, next step is the castle spa.
Mm-hmm.
So you leave through the flooded market again,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yep, we backtracked the way we came.
Which is still going full blast, and then backtrack the way to the sewer grate you came down through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Which is at the end of like a culvert. There's a up above ground. There's a ditch at the edge of a road, and at the end of that ditch, there's a metal grate, and that metal grate has a hinge at one side, and you open it up, and that's how you went down. And you close it behind you. So you come back out that way.
Well, as we're headed back through the market, Avanti comments to Eldon, if you saw anything you wanted on the way in, now would be the time to pick it up.
I was just thinking that, yes.
What might you be looking for?
Material components for spells.
There's a fair assortment of that sort of stuff. Primarily of the sort that you can't get above ground. Things that are parts of sentient creatures, for example, are harder to find above ground.
I wasn't aware the one who used those
of
casting spells.
Eyeballs of halflings, for example. There's a table that has a jar of those.
Nope, I don't need anything illegal. I was just looking for, like, various ground up metallic substances or gemstones or stuff like that.
You're really only going to find things here that you can't find above ground.
Oh, then I will carry my ass out of here. I would be carrying around jars of halfling eyeballs, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, you couldn't afford the whole jar.
No, probably not, no.
But you stop at a table and you start looking at stuff, and you'll get the realization, like, this is not where I should be.
No.
These people are willing to gouge the eyeballs out of people like me. I should probably move on.
All right, we'll carry on right down the road then, yeah.
Pickled elf ears.
Oh,
So
no, I think we want to be out of here.
You head out, you get above ground, nobody kills you. Yay. Now what?
Head for the castle, I guess.
You head for the castle. Let's see. What time of... I want to refresh my memory. You were at the Sow's Ear until late evening, but not like middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Like it had just started to pick up. So let's say around 9 o'clock at night. You left, got accosted by Town Watch. They gave you a map. Sergeant Pavel said, "Hey, I've got you. I've got you. You're in trouble. I can get you out." Gave you the map, sent you to Radu. Did you go right then to Flooded Market?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Went there, met with Radu, left. We'll say it's like not quite midnight at this point. Does that sound reasonable?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is really late for the bathhouse. It's probably, if not closed, going to close soon.
Yeah. Well,
because it's not a nightlife kind of place. It's a bathhouse.
Let's see if we can flip in, because without customers, this would be easier.
Who wants to roll for that? Because I'm going to make you roll.
I'll do it with diplomacy.
Sure.
I don't know why we can't wait till the next day. I mean...
Talk Ashanti out of it.
Why are we in such a hurry that we can't wait till the next day? We need rest too, you know.
Because
it is late.
Okay, so we show up. Well, because those guys threatened to throw me into their dungeon if I took too long doing this.
That is a fair point.
And you're worried that they'll do it? Why?
It's okay. We'll get you out if they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if we can get a start on this thing.
Well, we're eventually going to need to get some rest, so.
Right, but if we can get a start on this thing and send them.
Take a vote.
Let's go look the place over and see what's happening and react from there. If there's still people and stuff going on, then we could probably get in. But if everybody's gone home, then let's come back the next day.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough.
That sounds like a good plan.
This being a fantasy world, it's not like they have precise hours when things open and close.
Right.
So if nobody's there, they could close 2 hours ago. And if everybody's there, they'll stay open until people leave. So that's kind of how stuff works.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go find out then.
Yeah.
Haven't heard from Emily lately. Are you muted?
Am I? No.
No,
Nope.
You're not. I just want to make sure you're not muted and I'm not ignoring you. Because
No,
it's my job to make sure everybody gets their share of screen time, and I hadn't heard from you lately, so I want to hear from you, at least enough to know that I'm not ignoring you.
Absolutely. Let's
You're
go
cool?
check out this bathhouse.
Awesome. You roll down the road, and I actually had an image for this. Let me pull it up. This is one of the oldest. Oh my goodness. You get some spicy pictures when you Google check bathhouse. So
yes, they are not necessarily places to get clean.
no, they are. It just, this what you and I might think of as a
clean.
Well, it depends what you mean by clean.
There you go. This is what I was looking for. It's a come on, man. Haha. All right. It's a building that looks like this. There's not tons of glass in Vodnibrana. It's a thing. It exists, but it's generally for rich people. Like glass you can see through is generally for rich people. That's why the churches have stained glass, because it's cheaper. Also, it's smaller pieces and it's divided by lead. It's just...
Oh.
You wouldn't think that the amount of labor that goes into making a stained glass portrait would be less expensive than a big sheet of clear glass, but it is. Big sheets of clear glass are more expensive. It's perverse, but true. So, here we go. This is the place you're going to. That is the castle.
Oh, cool.
Ah.
So, isn't that fun?
I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Stop presenting. So you head to the castle.
Yep.
And at the front, there's a person at the front desk. And there's guards. The guards have... So the town watch doesn't have uniforms exactly, but they have certain items that identify them as town guard. Like a vest with a logo, like that kind of deal. And there are 2 or 3 of those on watch because the bathhouse is very popular in town, and the people who run the town want to make sure things are peaceful here. And that's kind of how, at least in Vodnibrana, how the exercise of power works. Lots of people come here. It would be bad if there was violence here. So let's make sure there's not. So that's the deal. And so there's a clerk at a desk.
Okay.
There's a doorway that leads back to, and from where you can see, there's like pillars and tiled floors and things. And there's a couple of guards there that are clearly associated with the town. And then opposite from the clerk, as you come in the door, is a little hallway with cubby holes going back about 15, 20 feet. Bunches of little 2 feet by 2 feet cubby holes. And some you can see from here have stuff in them. Presumably some don't. Clerk, sitting there, looks up at you and says, the bathhouse is going to close soon, so you probably don't want to visit tonight.
Oh, okay. Remind me again, what was the name that she's hiding under?
She wasn't... You weren't told she was hiding any particular name. You were just told she was here.
Oh, I thought we were given a
No.
alias for her.
No.
Oh. Well, in that case, we would probably figure something out along the way for what happens once we get in, huh? Or do we just go to bed and sleep on it?
I think we go to bed and sleep on it since they're getting ready to close. And there's probably a good chance that Ilyana has already taken off.
Yeah. Unless she's staying here.
Okay. Okay, we'll try back in the morning.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Oh, that was quick.
Okay.
You want me to go check and see if she's there?
Well, we have a crude drawing of what she looks like, and I don't know.
But if you say, "Have you seen this woman?" and she's wanted by the Spyglass Society, you're stupid.
Yeah, so we don't really. I don't think we really want to go get. If
No,
we're
no, no.
gonna go
I've got
and
another.
look for
I've got
her.
another spell I could try out.
Oh,
Do that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Brandon, I'm casting invisibility on myself.
Wow.
Good idea.
It's only on you. It's
Yep.
non-combat, so it lasts in hours rather than rounds. Okay, cool. Make a roll. I'll roll against you.
Okay. I
You're
rolled the.
-1, I think. Call it -1.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, I'm
but
using.
if you
using a-
attack anybody, it cuts off.
Makes you visible.
Negates, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm using a focus, so I'm at dead even, and I rolled a 12 plus my power, which is 7, so 19.
You needed a 10. So, yeah,
Cool.
he casts a spell and disappears.
Now, how are you going to get in? I mean, you know how to pick locks?
No, they're not
they're
close
not
yet.
actually locked. They're just there's someone at the desk, and if they don't see you, you walk right by them, right?
And I will quietly walk
When
back
the
in.
house is open, it's not locking a door.
Right.
You walk. I assume you guys are out of sight and like down the
Around the
block
corner.
when you do this. All right. So
Actually,
you walk
after-
down. You walk back into the castle. You walk past the clerk. You walk past the guards. You walk into a place that looks like this.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Minus the girl in the bathing suit. But there are people,
We got everything.
in the baths, and there are a few attendants with towels and buckets of rocks that are very, 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 very hot that they dump into the water. And actually, should this be a hot spring? No, it's a hot spring. There's no rocks, so there's just a hot spring that feeds the stuff. So that's why fuck rocks. So anyway, yeah, there's people, and you can wander around, and there's people in there. And I guess
Okay.
I'll show you the layout. Hang on a second. I have a map for that, I think. Somebody's getting messages. Where's the entrance to this place? Oh, all right. So I'm going to say the entrance is on your window will be the far left where it says, oh no, 1. It's like ground floor 1. Yeah, that'll work. Here you go. This is, you just kind of have to adapt when you're using someone else's maps. So,
Yeah.
ground floor 1. That's where you went in from the bottom of the 1. And then looking, the previous picture I showed you would be the 2. And we're just going to assume there's stairs somewhere that lead to the level below. There you go. That's kind of what you're looking at.
Okay.
We're going to say the stairs, that room that says 2, there's stairs at the corners that go down.
Okay. That makes sense.
Oh, I think that's actually how it's laid out.
Oh yeah, down to the corners of 3.
Yeah. I was just saying it for the hell of it, but actually it looks like that's what they planned.
Yeah, little spirals.
That's a good plan.
Proud to be a part of this plan. All right, there you go. So you see people, you don't see anyone matching the description of Ilyana or the picture you saw of her, the drawing,
Right.
the crude charcoal drawing you saw of her.
Okay. Well, I will wander around until I think that I have wandered through the entire place, and then I will wander back out.
Let's see. Where's my pointer? I've lost my cursor. There we go. Make a what would be good for this? Perception? Let's say perception. A
Okay.
perception reason roll. And she's not hiding, but you don't really know what she looks like exactly, and it's a big place, so I'm going to call it a challenging roll. So my roll plus 6. I get a 16.
I got a 10. So no, I could walk up to her. She could like smack me in the face, and I still would recognize her.
So you roam around,
Yep.
and you don't notice anybody who you think is this person.
Nope. All right. So after a while, I will wander back out, and I'll come up to everybody and tell them, nope, she's not there.
Then we come back in the morning.
Yeah, maybe she's on like day shift. The spell worked flawlessly, by the way. Nobody saw me.
We might want to try and see if we can get a better picture of her, though. We should have asked the lizard man if he had a better picture.
Well, do you want to go back?
Not really.
No, me either. I did not see anything there that I thought was worth going back for.
By this time, it's probably 1 o'clock in the morning.
I think we need to take some rest, maybe think on this a little.
Okay, yeah, I'd better check in.
Okay, so people go. Are you gonna like set a place to meet tomorrow?
Yes.
That bar we were at seemed like a decent enough place.
Yeah.
The bar on Haviland Street.
The Salzier.
No, that wasn't the bar on Haviland Street.
I think we should go on Haviland Street. I think
Yeah,
it's
let's go to
Oh,
Haviland.
you meant the Salzier. I'm sorry. I thought you meant the place, the very first place.
Salzier.
That,
No.
the very first
I
place
think
was
we
the
wanted to
Legend
meet
Tower.
in Haviland, the bar in Haviland Street, didn't we?
Yes, we originally met there. I was actually talking about the Salzier because it looked like an interesting place. And it also looked like the sort of place. It also looked like the sort of place that doesn't close.
I think we need a low-key place on an interesting place.
But you might want to go there later when we're not on a mission, because you want to spend a lot more time there than we have time to spend there.
I don't gamble. Don't drink much either.
We can meet in the bar on Haviland Street.
Okay, if they're open, then yeah.
Oh, don't have to meet in it. We can meet outside.
now, the Salzier does have higher ceilings.
Ooh, that's a point. I bumped my head last time we were in the Legend.
Is Jacob physically typical for Varinyar, who are like a good half to full head taller than?
I'm thinking maybe even taller than that, like 6'9" or something. Like uncommonly tall.
He's like
And
4 among the Avengers. Is Jacob? You're also tiny.
Yes.
In which case, maybe the Salzier would be a better choice.
Okay.
I'll go for whatever. Okay. I'm just thinking interesting is not really what we need right now. But okay.
Well, all of us are uncommonly short. Because my character's like 5'2". There are 2 halflings, and Leslie's character in their race isn't that tall either.
No. I think I'm about 5'6". That's what I think.
So yeah, you're like surrounded by munchkins there, dude.
Yeah.
it's like,
As long as it doesn't.
I don't really care who you meet in the morning. I just thought you should discuss it. All right, so you go your various ways. You go to bed, you sleep, or in the case of Lloyd's character, do whatever you want to do, and then next day.
So where do we decide to meet at the Salzier?
I think the Halfling or the Haviland Tavern. So I will get up bright and early and go there.
All right, meet the Haviland Tavern, which I had a name for, but I've forgotten it.
Legend?
Yes, that is what it was. The Legend Tavern. Yeah, so you meet the Legend. I completely forgot that. Thank you. So you meet back at the Legend. Everyone. Oh, actually, Jacob has to like stoop Everybody else is fine. Although Zhuur-Al is it's like right at hair level. So like your hair's like brushing the ceiling. And occasionally there's like a cross beam you gotta duck under. But for the most part you're fine. But Jacob actually has to stoop over.
Sorry, Google tried to play something because somebody said something that it liked. I missed the last 3 minutes. Telling it to shut up.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
What's up?
You meet at the Legend Tavern in the morning.
Okay.
Jacob has to stoop.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Pretty much everybody else can just walk around normally. Zhuur-Al has to duck under a cross beam from time to time, but Jacob has to stoop the entire time.
Okay.
Anyway, there you are. Welcome to the Legend Tavern. Would you like some eggs and potatoes? It's our signature dish for breakfast. For breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Breakfast would be fine.
Please. Breakfast is important.
It's the most important meal of the day. Yeah, they bring out a big platter of eggs and boiled potatoes. Because why not?
Right.
And it's not in the name, but it actually includes chopped up bacon.
Oh, you do have bacon? Good.
Well, it's chopped up and mixed with the eggs and boiled potatoes.
Okay.
It's just assumed there's going to be bacon. So it's not in the name of the dish. Whatever. So you're there. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, hey, this is a good time to mention. Tonight's game brought to you by Baltic Sunrise. The mirror reversed version of this, anyway. Hardywood.
Were those
Hardywood.
coffee beans? Are those coffee beans I see on there?
Those are coffee beans.
Okay. Make sure.
Let's see. Hardywood Baltic Sunrise is conditioned. It says conditioned. Is conditioned on locally roasted coffee beans. Our Baltic Porter is an invigorating, full-bodied lager with a bold aroma of freshly brewed coffee, preceding notes of bittersweet chocolate, hints of dark cherry, and a malty, smooth finish. It's a Virginia beer, local, more or less.
Yeah, Richmond.
So the bitterness of beer with the bitterness of coffee. I don't think so.
It's actually not bitter at all. It's very smooth.
It's a malty beer, so yeah, probably low.
Yeah, it's actually not bitter at all. It's a very smooth porter.
Oh, I should go get my drink for the evening. Be right back.
That's fine.
It's a very evil beer.
So there you are. You're at the Legend. Talk amongst yourselves. What's your plan?
Hey, gang.
Well, as I said, I wish
we
we
have
could find a better picture of the girl.
Do we have a plan?
Might make things easier.
Back to the
my
castle.
reading would have been to go find her, but we can't if we don't really know what she looks like, and then talk to her reasonably. Ask her if it's okay if we take the book. I mean, it will leave her alone. She can stay there if she wants to. But if we don't really know what she looks like, okay.
Spooky.
I would love to be able to get a better picture of her.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. We could just go to the castle and see if we see her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty casual place. I can't imagine that anybody would mind if you just, wrapped yourself in a towel and wandered around.
Actually, now that you mention it, Eldon, two things would have become very apparent to you. The most anybody was wearing was a towel. Like, there was no one wearing more than a towel. Not one person. Some people were wearing less than a towel. But we're just going to go past that because, we don't want to get weird. But the most anybody's wearing is a towel. Two, the two guards at the front, we're going to say there's two. I said there were 2 or 3. Let's just pick a number and stick to it. There were 2. You did not see any guards anywhere you went other than at the front doors. So there's that.
The other thing we could do is look through the cubby holes for the book.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's an important book, I can't see her keeping it there.
You never know. Some people are not so bright.
It is very humid, so
it.
a book might not be the best place to keep a book. Just
Well,
saying.
tell her that. Okay, fine. So we gotta find the girl. Shall we?
But let's not discount the fact that it might be there because, you know, not only do people not do the wisest thing, sometimes they do the unwise thing because it's the smart thing because everybody thinks it's too obvious to actually look there.
So remember how I said that Avanti was more like Donald trying to outthink the plot? Is that something Avanti would say? I'm just trying to point it out to you when it happens so you can see what I mean by that. Because Avanti doesn't seem like the person who would think of that.
I would
maybe
ask
I'm wrong.
Eldon, since everybody's was in there wearing towels, was there any indication of places that they put their street clothes?
Yeah, the cubby holes.
Cubby holes, okay. Was there any indication that the staff had places to live in this place, like rooms?
I didn't say anything like that, did I?
No, not that Eldon saw, no.
What about segregated male-female, or is everyone mix?
There's some, as Eldon saw, there's some division, but it's more of a guideline than an actual rule.
Okay.
Like if you go all the way this way, it's all women. If you go all the way that way, it's all men. But that big central pool is mixed. But it is, just to be very, very clear, it's not a den of ill repute. Nobody's getting frisky. It's a bath.
So if we all go in together, we might scare her. So we might not want to all go together.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I can do the invisibility thing again.
Oh, invisibility.
You could go in and check out, see if you can find her, and then one or two of us could go in and talk to her.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
That's what you plan.
I'll go in invisibly again and see if I can find her this time.
We're just going to say you cast a spell successfully, because if you don't, you're simply going to keep casting it until you do, right?
Until I do.
Yeah, the best idea would be to have him go in invisibly again and see if he can get another chance to look for her.
And because you're just going to hang around, and it's a non-combat spell, so it lasts hours, so you could literally look around until you find her. So we're just going to say you wander around invisibly, and also it's hot in here, so are you dressed normally?
Yeah.
Okay, so after like the first hour, you are
I'm
soaked.
I'm wearing
no, wait, hang on. Let me back up a second. You're an elf.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not soaked in sweat, but your clothing has absorbed steam.
Yes.
So it's kind of heavy on you, but it's not gross in the way that a human would be, because you've seen humans, right? They sweat constantly.
Yes.
So it's not like that, but your clothing has absorbed some of the steam, and it's
apparently their hair keeps growing too.
Always. Oh, and they have it everywhere. Everywhere. So there's that. Have I mentioned that elves are better than humans? Have I mentioned that?
You have made a point of it, yes.
Yes, they are. So.
So yeah, after an hour, I'm basically wearing a very heavy, wet wool robe. Yeah.
But you look around for a while.
Hadn't anticipated that one, but yes, I will look around.
Okay. Eventually, you do find. That's weird. Zoop. This is in the lower level of the castle. That'll work. Okay. You are on this map, it'll be number 4. Wait, where'd it go? There it goes. Okay, do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Area 4 is just a huge room of tile, and you don't see benches on this map, but there's benches and people just like sitting on the benches, and it's like a sauna. You're not like in water, but it's hot and steamy, and you're just like sitting there and it's steamy. Oh, here's something else. You would have found this out earlier while you were wandering around, so I'll point it out now. Number 5 is every bit as hot and steamy as everywhere else. There are people, mostly men, a few women, doing martial arts. Kind of like, think of half sauna, half dojo. They're wearing towels and doing kung fu and wrestling. It's actually more like Greco-Roman wrestling than it is like kung fu. But there's also, it's not just throws and holds, it's also a few punches and kicks. And that's just going on in area number 5. Area 4, mostly empty, lots of benches, people sitting on benches, but you do see a young woman who matches, you think, the drawing that you were given by Grigori. And I'll give you, I didn't go to the trouble of making a Photoshop drawing effect version of this. I probably should have, but it's too late now. Here you go. So imagine this as a literally sketchy charcoal drawing, and this is who you're looking for.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you recall, Radu described her as having yellow hair and a defiant expression. She has resting, defiant expression face.
Okay.
So she's just like leaning up against the wall, wearing a towel, just kind of like sitting there, staring off into space, and she has resting defiance face. Like, they're going to regret it. It's like, that's just what her face says. You don't have no idea what she's actually thinking, but
okay.
there you go.
And that would be the time to
Were
see.
we all bringing it back, or was it just Eldon
This
going
is
to?
just Eldon wandering around, invisibly looking for
That
her.
would be
We're
the
gonna
time
say
to find
he's
out
been
if one of
looking.
those cubbies contains a black book.
Okay. Well, that will
We'll
not occur
say
to me.
you've been there about like an hour looking for her. You've probably passed her like twice before now.
Right.
Because again, it's just a shitty charcoal sketch. And you're like, no, that's the closest I've seen of anybody here. And as you're looking at her, you think, yep, that's probably her.
Okay. Then I will make my way out. Try not to be seen or
Well,
noticed.
as long as you don't bump into somebody or take somebody's drink, you're fine.
Okay. And then I will rejoin this lot who are probably completely non-suspiciously hanging around in a group outside.
Non-suspiciously.
Wherever you guys are, Eldon's been gone a little over an hour. You
Which
might
I
even be
probably
wondering,
wandered.
should we go in after him? Should we? Is he in trouble? Should we go in after him? No, Eldon's been dead for half hour now. You don't know.
Yeah.
So,
But I probably would have wandered around a little bit to just check the area out around the castle.
around the outside?
Around the outside and
Okay,
maybe
cool.
within a block or so of the outside in a circle.
There are no safety regulations as such, so while there are exterior doors, they all seem to be securely locked.
Now, these look like shops, residences. That's what I'm trying to find out.
What, around it?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm trying to find out.
shops on the first floor with usually a level of residences, maybe 2 above it.
Okay.
That's the norm in.
Because I'm thinking if she's
actually, it's the
hanging out.
norm in most of the towns. You're gonna, assuming this goes more than tonight, most of the towns you see will have first floor business, second plus will be residence. That's just how things work.
Because
So
what I'm
that's
trying to
what you
figure
see.
out is if she doesn't have the book in the bathhouse, is she renting a room somewhere near the bathhouse? So that's what I'm checking. I'm basically casing the joint.
Okay, you can familiarize yourself
Mhm.
with the neighborhood. Not a problem. This is
Okay.
this is the center of Old Town. As I said, the castle was at one point where the ruling family of Vodnabrana lived 300, 400 years ago.
Okay. So yeah, we have got plenty of places that she could be living.
plenty of places. It would take you days to search them all.
Oh yeah, I know.
Right.
After
So
about
Zhuur-Al comes back. What were you saying, Donald?
I was going to say, after about a half an hour, is she still gone at that point, or?
Oh yeah. Well, Zhuur-Al left after about a half hour. I guess people are getting antsy after about a half hour. Zhuur-Al says, I'm going to scope the place out, and leaves without hearing whether or not anybody objects to that, because that's Zhuur-Al.
Probably about 15 minutes later, Avanti says, I'm tempted to go take a bath.
Says,
Yeah, the pig probably agrees.
says Jasu,
Yeah.
which is pig for, yeah, I'd like a bath.
No, Jasu, you have to stay here.
Poor pig.
We'll get you a good wallow afterward.
Pigs are actually very clean animals.
Well, I said wallow. I think a wallow is a queen.
Yeah, wallow is the cleaning.
So,
It's how they wash themselves.
what does Avanti do in the 15 minutes after Zhuur-Al goes to scope out the neighborhood?
Goes inside and gets a bath.
You are stopped by the clerk,
Mhm.
who says you can leave your belongings over there, and there's towels on the shelf over there.
Okay.
I
I
assume you
will.
tied up the war boar outside.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Coming from, well, I don't know about you guys. I can only speak for myself. Coming from my own background, it is jarring to see, here's where you put your stuff, and it's a cubby hole next to other cubby holes, none of which have doors, much less locks. But that's the norm here. It's just assumed that you won't steal everyone else's shit. It's just assumed. You know.
It's kind of an honor system. Like when you buy a newspaper, you just assume you buy it with everyone.
Yeah.
Which
So
means
does,
it happens rarely enough that it's not an issue.
well, I mean, it would suck if it did happen, but it usually doesn't.
Yeah.
So Avanti puts her stuff into a cubbyhole, takes a towel, goes into the baths.
Yes.
Cool. Avanti roams into the bath. At this point, Eldon's still down there. He's probably found Ilyana by now and
Right.
is on his way out. Let's check in with other people. Zhuur-Al scoping out the town. Eldon's wandering around invisible. How about Ogilvy and Jacob are alone in the, we're going to say it's a cafe half a block down from the castle. Everybody else has left. What are you guys doing? Other than, drinking another cup of tea.
I'm bored. I wish I'd gone down with Eldon. It's boring. I want to do something.
I could probably guess on other people.
I keep looking that way like I want to go.
That never even occurred to me.
I'm entertaining myself by playing games.
There's a little wooden block on the table with pegs in. It's got holes drilled in it, like in a grid, and with pegs in it. And it has on the back, it has written the rules for the game of how you move the pegs around, and your goal is to only have one peg left. So Ogilvy is playing this table peg.
Oh, so this used to be a Cracker Barrel. This used to be a Cracker Barrel. Okay.
And Jacob's like, I should have gone with Eldon.
I'll put Ogilvy on the game. I'm okay with that, I guess. I want to go for a bath though. That sounds like fun. But
Well,
okay.
we have to wait.
Huh?
We have to wait for Eldon to come back, so we know
So
something.
Eldon, on your
Yes.
way out, you pass Avanti. She's in a towel. She's looking around. She's deciding where to sit. Should she sit in this big bath area? Should she go that way, which seems to have more women, or that way, which seems to have more men? What's Eldon do? Do you do anything, or do you just leave?
What she does is something.
I'm thinking to myself right now, I barely know this person, but I know that if anybody is going to get into trouble, it's going to be her.
That's a fair assessment.
Well, discounting me, yeah.
Or Zhuur-Al.
I'm not
No,
gonna
Or-
Zhuur-Al seems to
Ogilvy.
have her shit together. If trouble's going to start, Zhuur-Al's going to start the trouble. So
Yeah.
I figure she's
Fair
okay.
enough. Fair enough.
All right, so I will very quietly book past Donald's character, run upstairs, and go to where I'm supposed to meet everybody.
Coffee shop, half block down.
Okay.
Ogilvy's playing some kind of wooden peg game, and Jacob's looking like he's really thinking about going down to the castle and stripping off his clothes and taking a bath.
Okay. I'll come screeching up to a halt in a waft of soggy wool, turn off the spell, so stand there dripping, essentially, and go, I think I found her. What's her name doing?
Fun fact, if you cast a spell that doesn't affect anyone as an attack
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't have any kind of combat effect at all and only affects you and a small area, etc., etc., etc.,
Right.
it doesn't require a skill roll and it costs no arcane power. It just takes an action.
Like drying myself off.
Exactly. There's like a and then there's like
My
a
hair feels
cloud
like
around Eldon, but Eldon's perfectly dry.
Yeah, I actually wrote it up as a spell. At the moment, I'm just calling it dryness. Yeah. I'm gonna work it out later on so I can actually like remove dirt from clothing too, so it'll actually clean my clothes at the same time.
Nice.
But I haven't figured that
Dry
out.
cleaning.
So there's Eldon
Yeah, dry
and
cleaning,
Jacob and Ogilvy.
Okay, so I think I
Lord.
found her. I think she's in there.
Ogilvy
The
hears
lizard
a
man guy
whisper.
is right. She's got a she looks not really angry all the time, but like she's about to start an argument all the time.
That is so accurate.
Like no matter what you say, she's going to take the opposite view just out of sheer contrariness. Lord knows I don't want to. Or God's no, I don't want to talk to her. But anyway, I think she's in there.
Ogilvy hears a whisper in her ear saying, "Give him the mushrooms. This is good. Give him the mushrooms."
I am gonna have to test these mushrooms out on somebody else. Like just a little bit on somebody else who's not in the party.
I think the game master is just looking for a way to railroad us all out of town because a drunken, crazed Eldon sorcerer is probably the way to do it. Yeah.
Continue.
So at this point, I just ignore voice in my ear because we have a mission.
You can sense petulance.
Yes.
It's not to the point we need to worry about it,
Yes.
but it's sort of like that's strike one.
Yes. Okay. So, shall we go? Where's do we need to wait for
Zhuur-Al?
yes.
Oh yeah, where's Zhuur-Al?
Zhuur-Al walks in the door,
Yes.
having scoped out the local half block or so.
Anything interesting?
A lot of residences, a lot of shops. I'm wondering if we can spare another day and see if she leaves the bathhouse and goes to one of the houses.
She's in there right now. You can go talk to her.
But what I'm saying, if she doesn't have the book there and she doesn't want to talk to us, if we find out where she's actually living.
She in her resting contrarian face?
Did you talk to her, Eldon?
No, I did not. That was invisible.
If we find out where she's living, we can get into her house while she's at the bathhouse the next day, and we won't even have to talk to her.
So do we know that she works at the bathhouse or does she just like a bath?
Oh, the lizard man guy said that she was hiding out there by working at the bathhouse.
Ah, okay, I missed the work part. All right, well, let's go.
Although, Eldon, she clearly was not working when you saw her.
Yeah.
Not even remotely. Not even. There was not like
Holding up the
There are
wall.
there are attendants who have like a bowl of towels or a platter of cold drinks or a platter of like strawberries or whatever. I mean, there are a few of those roaming around. Let's say you saw 6 of them the whole time your whole time. She did not have a bowl or platter next to her or anything. She was just sitting there on a bench in a towel, leaning against a wall, staring off into space. Not, I don't want to imply she was unconscious or anything. She's clearly aware of her surroundings. Somebody walks by, she looks over. I mean, she's awake and aware, because I don't want to imply something that's not true. But she's just killing time.
And Donald, what's your character's name again? I'm writing it down.
Avanti.
Avanti, that's right. How could I forget that one?
I know, just like the Studebaker.
Yeah.
That is helpful, because I keep wanting to call you Ashanti, which is an actual name of a person that I knew. So
Actually, it's the same name. It's a dialectic difference.
I completely buy that. I totally do. But
It
Avanti,
means
like the
modest.
Studebaker, is who you are. So that's what I got.
It means modest or modesty.
Sounds reasonable.
Which
Particularly
is
for
why
Eldon.
it's so funny that the Johnny the bad kid from Cobra Kai drove a convertible one in the original Karate Kid.
A convertible Avanti? Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to go look for that, because that sounds
Well,
nifty.
Avanti too. It had the 327 small block Chevy instead of the super.
Okay, I don't want to get sidetracked in car talk, because I'll be doing it for the next half hour. So,
But yes, it wasn't.
Eldon, you were saying something. Go on. That's
Oh, sorry. What?
You. What?
Sorry, I was just looking up at the word Avanti because I do it from Italian, which means go ahead.
Avanti, Lloyd.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so
I'm using the Hindu.
got it. Anyway, the longer we leave Avanti in there, the more she's going to make trouble. You do realize that.
Yeah, I think we
I mean,
should.
I like her, but she's going to start talking to people.
Avanti's in the bathhouse?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, we probably should go in there and roust her.
Yeah, let's grab
If
Avanti.
nothing else, the pig might want to join her because the pig wants to get a bath too.
Oh, I'd pay money to see that.
Oh, okay. No one who has gone in there, which is Eldon, I think it's everybody at this point, right? They're not going to let Josu in. You all are positive of this. Even Avanti is positive. Avanti might think, "Hey, it's negotiable," but no one else is going to consider it even a possibility that Josu can go in. This is a classy place. War boars not invited.
Classy. Okay. Well, the war boar might have
Okay, so
something about that.
let's cut back to the castle. Avanti, betoweled, roaming around. Oh, and the towels are human size, so it goes like from under your arms down to your ankles. So you're like the most modestly dressed person
a little
here.
bit, actually, kind of walking with the, got like the waist of it in my hand so that it doesn't drag on the floor.
There you go. So are you looking for Ilyana, or are you just roaming around and curious, or did you just want a bath? Where are you going? What are you doing?
Gonna start with a bath, but if like cold drinks and strawberries and stuff are on offer, it'd be stupid not to try that.
So Avanti goes in with good intentions and is immediately sidetracked by little glasses of champagne and strawberries. So never gets past that first room.
I was thinking maybe gets down the stairs into the zone 3.
If you want to, that's up to you. Is that where they find you eventually?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we'll say that's where Avanti has settled. Just momentarily. Just momentarily. I mean, you're gonna keep looking, but oh look, there's some more strawberries. So meanwhile, everybody else. Avanti's in there, Eldon's here, what do you do?
Heading to the castle, going in, finding dropping my clothes apparently and finding Ilyana.
Just to be really explicit about it, does anybody try to go in with something other than a towel?
No.
That's a one no. Eldon?
It'll take me a minute to work myself up to it, but pretty much once everybody else gets naked, I'm gonna go along with it. Yeah.
You have a towel?
Yeah.
Okay. Zhuur-Al?
I'm contemplating whether or not I want to wait for them all out here. This water shit in large amounts is a little more than I like.
Fair enough.
It's
fair enough.
very,
So wet.
very humid. I will admit.
On the other end of things, Zhuur-Al would, in this circumstance, culturally, probably consider the towel superfluous. So
Yeah.
there's that. So there's that, and then there's the whole like hot, wet, humid thing. Not so much into bathing as Zinjan. Not. I mean, that's not how bathing works. You don't just like
No.
dunk your whole body into water. That's just like weird. Why would somebody do that? Am I a fish? No, I'm not a fish.
No, I eat fish.
There you go. So you can do what you want.
I'll wait outside. I'll make sure she doesn't leave while you guys are making sure Avanti doesn't get in trouble.
Ogilvy, trying to smuggle anything in, or you just?
I'm gonna leave my mushrooms in my clothes.
Fair enough. Wasn't even thinking of that. I was expecting somebody to try to sneak in a sword or crossbow or something. All right, cool.
No, I figured one of the mages would maybe, like under their towel sneak in a little pouch of stuff to do magic stuff, but
apparently not.
I'm
All
not.
right. So Zhuur-Al hangs.
All of my spells are basic at this point, so I don't really need the material
Radu is
components.
going to watch the people going in and out and make note of who it is and what kind of people they are and stuff like that.
This is late morning.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
Right, late morning. So you're starting to get the late morning crowd, which then drops off for lunch because people are eating, and then it comes back in the early afternoon crowd. So you're seeing the morning peak of traffic. So people are coming in.
The people who had stuff to do in the early morning are now taking a break.
And I'm of course contemplating crowd size in relativity towards pinching some pockets. Just
the whole room full of the long hallway full of cubby holes. You're just like, oh my god, people are just like putting their stuff there. It's like,
yeah.
Here,
but I'd
take
rather
my
have
stuff.
more of a challenge, so I'm looking around outside to see what the crowds are like to see if I can.
Also, and I think this would be relevant to Zhuur-Al, but I don't want to impose it. I'm just going to offer it. Like, the thing about the cubby holes is you don't know who you're taking it from.
Yeah, and then
and that is a, for lack of a better word, that's a moral quandary because you don't know if they can actually afford to lose that.
Whereas if they're fully dressed wandering around in the street, I can judge.
Free game.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're in the jungle, you don't prey on creatures that are just asleep. That's just, why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
So
we're just gonna contemplate a couple purses here and there maybe, and other than that, just watch people.
So Zhuur-Al's scoping out probably across the street from the castle.
Yeah, and somewhere in the general area.
Yeah, roam around, be inconspicuous.
Mm-hmm.
Monty is one level down, hanging out. Oh, everybody had to pay to get in. It's like 4 copper to get in. It's not a lot, but it's not nothing. It's the equivalent of about 4 big ass mugs of beer, give or take. Which is actually a really good bargain because with this, stuff they bring you, it's actually a decent deal. They make their profit on volume. Everybody else comes in other than Zhuur-Al. You roll around. You'll find Avanti first. You'll find Avanti first. Avanti is very easy to find. You just saw her an hour ago. You know what she looks like, and it's the room straight down from the very first room. There's Avanti. Here's everybody but Zhuur-Al. Now you're all in one group.
Hey guys,
Be
you gotta try
coward.
this stuff. It's way better than coffee. It points out the guy with the drinks and the guy with the strawberries and the guy with the cherries. And
I'm gonna definitely have some fruit.
yeah, Avanti's obviously just been like in the lap of luxury. She's never seen anything like this before and is really enjoying it.
Platters of strawberries and other chopped chunks of fruit, melon, a lot of it. And the drinks are, I said champagne earlier. It's not champagne. It's either water or diluted fruit juice.
Close
Which
enough
is,
for a farm
which is
girl.
say like mostly water, but with like a splash of fruit juice.
Close
There
enough
y'all
for a
are.
farm girl.
There's Jacob and Ogilvy and Eldon and Avanti, all betoweled, all in a very steamy area. Eldon knows where Ilyana was. Now what?
Shh, let's go find Ilyana.
Yep. Head over to where she was.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to stop at the wrestling place, but maybe later.
Well, that's actually past where Ilyana is, so you'll like get a glimpse of it because you can hear it. You hear like, huh,
I keep looking over like I'm interested
thunk,
in-
thunk.
It keeps distracting me.
Yeah, you hear that from over on the left as you go into this big ass room with benches and steam. This is basically just a steam room, and then off to the left over there is where the gymnasium is the word they use for it, and that's thunk, thunk. I hear that over there, and it's going on the entire time, which may be a little bit distracting. Let's see. Well, you go in there, and at this point there's probably like a good dozen people in there, but Eldon shows you over to where Ilyana's sitting over in the corner, and she's still sitting there, just like,
Yep, there she is.
like staring off into space. And you guys approach. What do you do?
I'll go sit down beside her.
Yeah.
She gives you a look like what the fuck are you doing?
I'm hanging back so we're not overwhelming her.
Me too. I'm not a people person, really.
She peers at, it was Ogilvy who did that?
Yes.
She peers at you. It's like, this spot's taken.
I've been looking for you.
I'll be right back.
You had me mistaken for somebody else.
No.
She,
I'm Ogilvy.
she tightens her towel, stands up, and starts walking away.
Oh ho ho.
Yeah, you knew it was going to be.
I just keep an eye on where she goes.
To the other side of the room, and then she sits down.
Okay.
But she's looking at Ogilvy.
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk over to the other side of the room and I'm gonna sit down by her.
You get about halfway across, and she's like, don't do it.
Damn it.
Okay.
So yeah, I have to come near
While she's distracted with Ogilvy, Avanti is just going to be walking past where she moved to. And just, upon walking past, mumble to herself, Grigori asked me to help. Are you in trouble?
Let me see how well I deal with that.
And then continue walking and sit down on another bench.
Like looks at Avanti, sorry, and then like looks at Ogilvy, who's approaching. Oh my God, I'm being swamped by Havlins. And her demeanor shifts slightly from hostility to worry. So Avanti moved down and sat down a bit down. Is that correct?
Yeah.
But Ogilvy came straight across.
But
So
stop.
what's Ogilvy doing?
Stopped when I got the dagger eyes. And I'll go and sit down by Avanti.
Okay. She's like trying not to pay attention to you, but she's like looking over at you. Meanwhile, Eldon and Jacob and
Avanti will comment to Ogilvy as they're sitting there. We're not very good at this, are we?
I'm gonna wave at Ilyana.
Okay.
Avanti will be like, nope, don't do that.
I'll ask Jacob, is this going well? I can't tell if it's going well or not.
No, not well at
Okay.
all. At any point, is Ilyana? So I wasn't with those two. Does she come anywhere near me?
we're gonna say no.
Okay.
You and Eldon are somewhere in a third point of the triad that is, as such, not encroached upon Ilyana's personal space or awareness.
I'll just wait then. Just watching her movements.
All right, who's the persuasive one in our group? I know it's not me. I'm assuming it's not you.
No, not me.
It's Zhuur-Al, actually.
Okay.
I think it's
Really?
Zhuur-Al.
Yeah, true, I am.
Who is the highest presence?
6 presence and diplomacy as a skill.
Let's see.
That sounds likely then. All right, probably Avanti, if she's willing to try. It's only a gift if you use it.
Yeah.
Ooh, hey! At this
I
point,
guess
everybody who has perception as a skill.
I do.
Everybody with perception as a skill, make a roll.
But I'm not there.
Okay, everybody who's there has perception as a skill, make a roll. Oh, wow, I rolled really well.
And that's a reason.
Perception reason?
Yes.
13.
10.
12.
6.
How'd you get 6?
2 2s and my 2 in reason.
All right. What'd you get, Emily? Is that 12?
12, yes.
Okay, 12. Okay. Ogilvy, nobody else. Ogilvy, notice. Okay, so this is going on over the, because you guys know that Eldon and Jacob are over there, and they know that you're over here, and you both know that Ilyana's over there. Ogilvy notices one of the attendants holding like a basket of used towels. Seems surreptitious in the way they look over at Ilyana, and then at you, and then leave the room.
That's not good.
But only Ogilvy notices that.
I am going to share that information with Avanti since I'm sitting right beside her.
Makes sense?
Yeah. This is not good. I think.
Okay, I'm going to just go up and I'm going to sit down next to Ilyana.
Tried that.
And I'm going to very quietly say, sorry about my friend. Somebody has noticed. We might want to move for your safety.
You have mistaken me for somebody else.
Oh, I'm sure I have, and that somebody else is in deep trouble, and we both know that certain people in this town aren't as ridiculous as they pretend to be. Spyglass.
Wait, what was that part?
Spyglass.
Okay, she finally grasps the situation. She's like, that idiot. He pulled you into this, didn't he? And the Spyglass Society? But she and I...
We have a plan. We can sort this.
I don't have the book with me.
Obviously not. You're much more intelligent than anyone else involved in this little plot.
But they're going to kill me, aren't they?
Not if we play things right. In fact,
this wasn't what I wanted to happen.
We can square things up if we play this right. There are a few players who want certain things to happen, and everyone is simply a pawn.
Damn, Grigori. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, you and me both. You know he even stole the beer glass from the tavern? What do you do with a man like that? I mean, really, sister?
Just get her out of there.
What do you want me to do?
Okay. We need to get you and the book and our client, let's call him, in the same place at the same time. I don't yet have the details because security is still working on it.
Okay. I don't have the book with me, but I know where it is.
Okay. Can we come back here and contact you when we have further information?
If you found me, the Spyglass Society can found me, and I think it's time for me to leave.
Then let's
Do
go.
you have a safe house?
Yes, I believe we do. We have someone who's very good at finding those. So we have a safe house that's even unknown as a safe house to the safe house donors.
Great, let's go. She stands up.
Okay. Okay, let's head on out.
Straighten up my towel and follow along.
Ilyana follows Avanti.
Okay. And we head out and I assume get dressed and
Meet up with Zhuur-Al.
Zhuur-Al, yeah. And I say, Zhuur-Al, we need a safe house. They're on to us.
Just follow me.
As you leave the bathhouse, there's a group of people in towels who are all hurriedly putting on their stuff.
I'm going to get us into some back alleys and out of there as quickly as possible.
No, wait. Let me try it. I can try it on all of us.
Ooh.
Go for it. But we're
Okay.
moving while you do it.
Cast invisibility on an area that I can move.
Wow.
Okay. We can do
Okay.
that.
Unnatural salvo. The range is still close, so that doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, they're
So
gonna stay
minus
close to
2
me.
and an extra 2 and a 2 on your cost.
Okay. 15.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
Okay.
everybody fades out.
Okay, I can only keep this up for a couple of minutes, so...
Just long enough for me to
Good,
get
good,
into
good.
a couple of alleyways that I know that'll get me to the to where we're going.
And you can't see each other. So it's basically like, hands on the shoulders of the person in front of you.
Whoa.
This is
sounds
cool.
good. I'm leading.
Hold hands.
Let's somebody grab me and everybody grab, and I'll get us to where I know I need to get us.
That
I'll
costs
follow
you
up the rear with
two arcane
Jasper.
power. Alright, you follow Zhuur-Al for a few minutes.
Does she have a
Zigzag
bell on
through
her
alleyways.
necklace?
And I guess when we're well away from the bathhouse and
It's
we
like
can
a
see
combat
each other again.
Who okay, it's not Zhuur-Al, and it's probably not Eldon. Who else wants to be at the back end of the line? Pick somebody. All right, so let's say Ogilvy, last person in line. As you're following along against whoever the hell's shoulders you're touching, you see a group of people come out of the bathhouse like, where'd she go? Where'd she go? Where'd she go? And then they don't see you. And
Yes.
yeah, so that's really all there is to that.
I think last in line would probably be like holding on to Jasu's saddle or something.
We'll just say Jasu got included along with everything.
Which one of you is making the grunting noises?
Sure as hell is
Oh,
me.
that would be Jasu. Don't mind.
Oh, right. War pig. Forgot. Damn, I got the pig in there too. Oh, I am awesome.
You get like a block away. Hang on, I opened up this can and it sprayed brown beer on the wall.
Well done, man.
Yeah, that's not cool. All right. Hey, let's have okay, you escaped the well-meaning civil vigilantes who were the bathhouse vigilantes. Who think they're the good guys. Brief break. See you at 10 after. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's pause.
Hanging in one place that was built in the late 40s by a World War II tank mechanic and his son. His son was not as bright as him. At least according to all the long-term neighbors. And the thing is, it was such a non-standard size, you could not get a door that would fit this house.
You have to make it, I guess, right?
No,
that's what I determined when I had the
we had to
house.
order the slab. You order it as a slab door, trim it to size, and cut your own hinge divots, and hang it yourself. Yeah, no,
Crazy,
it's so much
crazy.
easier to just cut a new hole in the wall.
Yep.
Well, congratulations, Lloyd, on your newly installed door. I mean, you succeeded, right?
Yes, it took an entire
Yes.
day to do it, but we only have one more to go.
Yeah,
Question: why did you need to replace the door?
Because the door itself was delaminating. It was metal and wood, and it was coming apart. It was literally being held together with tape, and the door frame at the bottom was starting to rot.
Oh, yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good reason.
I mean, it wasn't a lot of rot. It was like, this much of the door frame is starting to rot. But once we took the door down and
Pretty much
tried to
any
put the new
rot
door
is
up,
too much.
yeah, we tried to put the new door up, and we're like, the hinges don't match. Screw it, take the frame out. So yeah, we're gonna have to do that to the back door too.
That's crazy. But again, the house itself was only 180K, so that's not
Yeah.
too bad.
We expected to put another
It's not
$20,000
nothing, but
into it. Yeah.
you know, you could spend a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the doors, what, like $200, $300?
These were 250
Yeah. Oh shit.
door and frame. Yeah.
We spent more than that, expecting to put about that much into it, and expecting to put about 2-3 times that much into it again. And
There's something horrifying going to Lowe's and spending $5,000 in a single trip.
Holy
Yeah.
moly! Yes, that is horrifying. That is truly horrifying. I'm thinking. Now, the first 6 months we lived here, I spent a shitload of money on Lowe's, but I don't think I hit 5,000, and that's including carpet. So,
That's refrigerator, microwave oven, 2 doors,
refrigerators are expensive.
13
A
doorknobs,
decent refrigerator is expensive.
6 ceiling fans. Yeah, we kind of went crazy. Yeah.
yeah,
It adds up, though.
I think between lighting, washer, dryer, and paint, I think in the month of May last year, I spent like $8.5 grand.
Good heavens!
Yep, it does add up.
It was this house after I paid $270 for this house. It was a good 10-12 to get us into it.
Wow.
All right, didn't want to.
Moving on. So let's start game stuff now.
How does
Time
guess
is- time
what?
is
It
fleeting.
never ever stops. In 25 years, you're still going to be making $1,000 trips to the store.
Sure, yeah.
Well, things break. Save up for your roof.
Yes.
I'm telling you
Oh.
now.
Or
Save
pray
up.
We
for
already know
hail
about that
damage.
Yeah, we're praying for
Not-
a hurricane. Yeah.
Not just my roof, because when I have to re-roof this thing, I'm pulling off whole trusses. I am re-roofing all of the new place because all these 4 additions have different roofs, and that shit is not cool. And so I'm just going to strip the whole thing, get new joists come in, and then I will have 2 roofs instead of 6 roofs, and be a much
Sounds like a
happier
plan.
person.
So you've got
It'll cost
Ilyana.
30 grand.
Zhuur-Al takes you to a safe house. Is that the plan?
Yep, I'm going to take him to my little hidden that looks like a wreck and doesn't look like anybody's living in it.
So Zhuur-Al takes you out into Newtown, which is, ironically, the shitty part of town where people don't live, and to a building that looks like it's about to collapse. And Ilyana's thinking, clearly, from her expressions, thinking like, yeah, I have made a terrible mistake.
You know, wait till you get
So-
inside. Wait till you get inside.
You go inside, and it's even worse.
And then I take him to the center where my special little area is, which is
And
all
to
flipped
a
out.
stairwell, which seems oddly solid and well maintained, and then upstairs to your actual living quarters, which seem nice, right?
Oh, very nice.
Like Persian carpets, pillows,
Things are
divans.
swollen.
Okay,
Not quite
Right then.
fruit juice and strawberries, but
My
at
den.
least it's not as humid.
That's what she
So-
says. My den.
Ilyana says to, I guess, to Avanti, who is the person who masterminded this. All right, so what's your plan?
Well,
My
you're gonna
plan
stay
is
here.
to
You'll be
con-
safe.
Yeah, my plan is to contact the man with the plan and ask what the plan is. My part
tell us
was
where
to
the book
get you
is.
out of danger so that the plan could proceed.
There's a knock at the door.
There shouldn't be.
There shouldn't be. But that might be that might be our person. I'm gonna.
I
say
will
here.
go down. You all get ready to take care of things if this is somebody we don't
This might
want.
be the courier.
Wait, we
This might-
just got here.
Yeah, this might be the courier. Remember, you said when we had what we needed, he'd send a courier in with the plans.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably who it is.
This is a
That's
hell
what
of a
I'm-
rescue.
You like it? It's our
I can
first.
tell you right now, nobody from the Spyglass Society knows this is here, and they never will. If they do, I'll find another one. Go ahead, Avanti. Go find out who it is.
Okay. I'll head downstairs.
At the door, there is a man standing there, just like waiting, kind of in little downtrodden looking, but not completely homeless.
Okay. I say, yes, can I help you? Or can you help me?
I've got a message for who was doing the most of the talking with Radu. Was it Jacob? Seems like it might have been Jacob.
With Rodney, I was, yeah. I like his
is there-
battle act. I compliment him on
Is there
it.
someone named Jacob here?
Yeah.
I look up. Yeah, that's me.
Hands a folded parchment.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Leaves.
Look at the parchment.
It's instructions. Where to arrange the meeting, who to send invitations to, and what couriers to use.
Okay.
Well,
And at the
shoot.
very end, it says, this assumes you have the book. If you
Hey,
don't
you read the book? Hey,
get that
Eldon, you
first.
read the book? The book's part of this deal.
Well, that was what we were planning on doing.
Yeah.
Well, does Ilyana have to be at this meeting, or just the book?
Just the book.
The letter Jacob is holding and reading does not mention Ilyana at all.
Okay. Then we should tell her all we need is the book. She's safe here.
Yeah. I'll say, good news, Ilyana. You're not part of the plan, just the book.
Okay, I hid the book. You might not like where.
Oh God.
Can you get the book back?
No,
I'm not going back there.
Don't involve her.
No.
I can probably get it.
So, are you familiar with the sow's ear?
Oh, I can get it.
I know what you like.
Where at the sow's ear?
Okay, if you go upstairs and then go to the back rooms, the private rooms, the third room on the right, the cushion, the comfort cushion, if you lift that up, I cut that open and put the book in and sewed it up. So it's in that cushion. You'd have to cut it out.
Okay, no problem. I have a couple friends there that I'll pay to turn the other direction.
Who?
I know everybody there.
She does.
Almost.
Well, I have some friends who work there too.
Yeah, I know. They're very nice people.
Don't hurt anybody who works there.
Oh, no. I won't hurt anybody there. I go there a lot. I don't want to hurt anybody there.
All right.
Meanwhile, you're safe here. I would suggest you stay here. There's food. There's places to sleep. All at your disposal. Just don't leave the building.
Okay. I'm fine with that for now.
Mm-hmm.
So, the letter Jacob has says to arrange the meeting at the roof of the. Actually, have the Botanical Tea Room. The roof of the Botanical Tea Room, which is actually like a block away from the castle. It's in the nice part of town, and it's actually a nice tea room. It's where relatively well-off people go to have small toasted pieces of cake and tea.
Cucumber sandwiches.
Yeah, it's that kind of place. It's a nice place. Anyway, the roof of the Botanical Tea Room at midnight, and it says what couriers to use is the. Actually, I had a name for this. The Brown Blaze Boys, which anybody who's local knows is a gang, but whereas the Copper Blades are a gang that is like more into robbing people, the Brown Blaze Boys are more into low-level Grubhub kind of stuff. It's like go somewhere, pick something up, bring it back to you, get a tip. It's like they're a gang, but they're not really a criminal gang, if that makes sense. Not that you'd really trust them with your pets, but still, as gangs go, they're more about the service they provide, less than how they can get by on you.
Like
so
a
there's
union.
that.
Okay.
It's a fantasy world, and this is how these things work. So the Brown Blaze Boys, and here are the people who send the instructions to, and it has Lady Miroslava at Glass House, and it has the name of somebody who it's not important because it's not going to come up again, so I'm not going to worry about it. But the Copper Blades, I just said that. The Copper Blades. So you send an invitation to Lady Miroslava specifically at Glass House and the Copper Blades, and it says who and where to deliver that to in the letter Jacob is holding. And I think that's all. Yes, that's all.
Well,
Midnight tonight at the roof of the Botanical Tea
Room. Okay, cool.
So I look at what I'm wearing and I think I say I'm probably not the best person to do this. Who wants to go make these arrangements?
I can
The
do
Brown
it.
Blaze boys are not fancy, so anybody could make that.
Yeah, but that
could write those
that
instructions.
botanical.
And send them.
What's the? Who's it? Sounds fancy.
I'll deliver
It's on the
the.
room, so it doesn't matter. Somebody else is gonna have to make all the arrangements. I gotta go get the book.
I'll go deliver the message to the Spyglass Society that I have what they're looking for and midnight top of this building.
Aren't the Brown Blaze boys supposed to? Aren't the Brown Blaze boys supposed to deliver that?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's what Radu
I mean,
suggests.
we don't
have to
be
do
at
it.
this
You don't have
meeting.
to do anything.
We don't have to be at this meeting.
But we do have to make sure that Lady Miroslava is there. Or
Yeah,
you're going to
that's
have one very angry alligator suitcase coming after you.
He wouldn't be angry. He's just disappointed.
Just disappointed. Sorry.
That's
Very
good.
disappointed.
Do we need to have
So
the book in hand before we make the arrangements?
I'm getting that now.
No, we just need to make sure that the book is at the meeting so
Yeah,
that Lady Miroslava will be there.
We don't have to. It may be wise to, but we don't have to.
Oh, Zhuur-Al, can I come with you? If it's a book, I want to look at it before we,
Just
hand it
let
off.
me get it. You can wait downstairs. Let me get it. And
Okay.
once we leave the building, you can look at it.
Oh, wait. I did the fascination trick on everybody in that bar. Do you think they'll remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. You keep them busy. I'll
Well,
get the book. And
okay.
we'll leave together.
Only
You
the
can
people
follow.
who were there will remember.
Okay.
People who weren't there won't remember.
Yeah, what are the odds? Okay, yeah. All right, I'll go with you.
But don't look at it. We don't want to take it show it at the building. We want to get out of the building first.
Okay, well, we can head to like where I'm staying and take a look at it there.
She's going to
Or we
grab.
can head back here.
Zhuur-Al is going to grab something, a piece of clothing that makes her look a little larger, and put it on so that she can carry the book out without it being obvious that she's carrying a book.
Certainly. Some kind of poncho or winter coat or
Yep.
something. Or just an oversized overcoat.
It's oversized and it's got a pocket. It's got large pockets in it.
Sure.
Gotta have pockets.
You've planned for this before. It's not a problem.
Oh yeah. And we'll head to the Zhuur-Al.
So, Eldon and Zhuur-Al are heading to the Zhuur-Al. Was Avanti doing something?
I guess I should go talk to the Brown Blades.
Okay, which means somebody's writing at least 2 letters of invitation, let's call them.
Mm-hmm.
Who's doing that?
I will. I've got good penmanship.
Okay, so Ogilvy is at a desk in Zhuur-Al's safe house.
Yes.
And you find a quill and a little jar of ink and some parchment. They're cheap. They're around here somewhere. I mean, at some point, Zhuur-Al would have found them and said, "Hey, that could be useful," and brought it home.
Yes.
Right? Makes sense.
I'm guessing
Right.
Zhuur-Al is intelligent enough to be able to write.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, Zhuur-Al and Eldon leave. Ogilvy and Jacob and Avanti are there. Jacob's like reading over the instructions from Radu. Avanti's providing insight, and Ogilvy's like, "All right, here we go," and like writing out invitations to Lady Miroslava and to the Copper Blades.
Yes.
Yes.
Other than the stuff that we've already talked about, is there anything particular you want to include in those letters? I'm not saying this because I'm not fishing for something. There's nothing there's nothing I want you to put in there. I'm just wondering if there's something you want to put in there that I don't already know about.
No. Not that I can think of. Jacob,
Okay.
Avanti, care to ad lib here?
No, let's follow,
No,
follow what Rodney says to do. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
probably not a good idea.
Yeah, let's follow Radu's instructions.
Yeah. Oh God.
All right, cool. So it seems fairly straightforward. Ogilvy writes up to Lady Miroslava, please come to this place at this time. We will offer you the book that was stolen from you. And you're not asking for anything from her for this, right?
Nope, as far as we know. He didn't tell us we needed to ask anything.
No, he didn't. He just said arrange the transfer.
Yeah.
And then, to the Copper Blades, please arrive at this place this time and we will give you the book.
Yes.
So I just want to... Oh, one thing I do want to make clear in case it wasn't clear. You are offering the same physical object to two different opposed groups at the same place at the same time. Just so that you know that. Because that is what Radu has told you to do. And that is what you're doing?
Yes.
Are we staying in town afterward?
Well, that's the decision for you to make.
That depends entirely upon how the evening goes, I suspect.
Yeah, no. As the second letter has been written out, Avanti realizes this fact and says, "Are we leaving town afterward?"
Hey, wait a minute. We've only got one book, and we're giving it to two different people. How's that work?
Are our names going to be on these letters? No.
No. There are no names on the letters.
So we have nothing to worry about.
Well, and we don't have to actually say that we are giving you the book. We can just say, be here at this time. The book will be there.
We're setting up the meeting.
There you go. There you go. That's
I think it's specified. Radu set up the meeting, and that was the idea.
And then all we have to do is hide the book on that rooftop and watch.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
We can hide clues.
Right, that lead to totally wrong things because Eldon's made the book invisible.
I can make anything invisible, apparently. So yeah.
Even a war pig. War boar.
All right. Let me double check something. Oh, he's a handsome fellow. I'm just looking at like pictures and stuff.
Watching the fun sounds good.
Yeah. No, that all sounds good. Okay, so you contract, I guess, Avanti finds the brown something or other boys. I had it written down.
Brown Blade Boys.
Sound like
Brown Blaze. The Brown Blaze Boys.
Blaze, yes.
What? I don't even know where that name came from. So Avanti hands off the letters, says where they go. They, yes, we'll do it. And then they ask for payment. Silver, because the people you're asking this to be delivered. Normally it'd be like a copper.
But they're
you
going
want
to
something delivered to Lady Miroslava? That's a silver.
Yeah.
You want something delivered to the Copper Blades? That's a silver. So like, if you want delivered to like, Max the grocer, that's 1 copper. That's, or maybe not even 1, maybe like 2 bits. But, there's 4 bits to a copper. Did I cover this earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, 4 bits to a copper.
Well, I read it in the...
There you go. I'm just going to assume somebody manages the finances of that.
Yeah.
The Brown Blaze Boys go off and deliver their letters. So you have until midnight on the roof of the Botanical Tea Room. What are you doing now? Oh, we need to go actually get the book, don't we? So Eldon and Zhuur-Al go back to the Sow's Ear. It's around lunchtime, would you say?
Yeah, probably.
Oddly enough, there's a spike in... What do you call people who...
Clientele.
Clientele, thank you. There's a spike in clientele at lunchtime because they've got a buffet of crawdads and stuff and dancers.
I believe it's typically a fried chicken buffet.
There you go.
Hot dogs and chicken wings.
I pass through and flirt with several of the guys that I know, grab myself a drink, and go upstairs.
Here's a weird thing. I don't know Lloyd and I grew up in this, in the early very, very late teens. Tidewater, very military area, had a lot of go-go dancers places, and they would have lunch buffets,
Yes.
right? It's not just me, right? I'm not the only one who remembers it.
No.
I was there, yeah.
The whole time I was building food trucks, every once in a while, Kava would come in and go, "Who's up for steak for lunch?" And I knew we were headed to Club Rouge.
So
Because you pay $6 for your
you've got
steak,
these,
$6 for your beer.
not to be too blunt, but titty bars, and they would have like a buffet of whatever, chicken wings.
Because
and you
obviously
grab
that
chicken
goes
wings,
together.
and then there's like a lull until mid-evening, and then it picks up again. So that's what you're dealing with.
Okay, well,
The Salzier is this kind of establishment.
Yeah.
So it is lunchtime. There's dancers. There's food. There's beer. And
grab a
there's
beer.
Zhuur-Al and Eldon.
I grab a beer, flirt with a couple of the guys there, and then go upstairs.
I'll find out that the buffet is there and
go join
help myself to the buffet.
Eldon's about half a plate into spicy chicken wings and notices that Zhuur-Al is heading upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, she told me I was supposed to wait here and not prepper style.
I told you to wait there. Mm-hmm.
I'll wait, and if there's a lot of explosion and screaming, then I'll run upstairs. But otherwise, I'll wait.
I just flirted with people. I didn't ask them to come upstairs with me.
All right. Eldon can see that people like Zhuur-Al, the people Zhuur-Al has spoken to, are eyeing Zhuur-Al as she goes upstairs. But it's not sort of like where's she going? We're watching her. It's not that kind of vibe. It's more like, oh man, oh well, who's next?
Next time.
It's sort of like looking for your next Easter egg. It's like, oh, okay, well somebody else found that one. I'll look for this other one. Oh look, there's somebody. So it's a lot less hostile than that. Although, given the circumstances, it'd be reasonable if Eldon had a presumption of hostility, but then would be like relieved when they're not hostile. That's what I'm trying to convey.
Right.
Okay.
Also, there is an excellent dipping sauce. Oh, it's yummy. So
I figured he's safe enough down there.
Now the buffet is free, but the beer is not.
Well, I paid for the beer.
All right.
I always do.
Anyway, Zhuur-Al goes upstairs, which is where the gambling is.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point in the day, it's mainly short, fast games. So you've got like the spinny wheel thing where you pick a number, and dice games. Card games take too long, so they don't really do card games in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to show some interest, see what's going on, see what the stakes are, some of the quickie tables, and then go to the room she indicated.
You roll. Stealth is a skill, right?
I do believe I have stealth as a skill.
Just pray that nobody's getting their ashes hauled in room 3.
Mm-hmm. So I'm rolling 2 dice?
Hang on, I gotta double check. Yeah, stealth is a skill. I had to double check because I've changed the names of things from time to time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I have to double check. You need to roll a 13. Total.
Okay, I'm rolling 2 dice because I have it as a skill, right?
Plus your agility.
Plus my agility, which is my better thing. Oh, you said I needed a 13?
Yes.
Looks like I just made it. 13 on the nose.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if you didn't, you could have spent a plot point because everybody's got one.
Yeah.
And the hat ones have 2.
Uber stealthy. I'm just, just pretending to be interested in games, wandering around.
You like wander over to the curtain to the back rooms, and somebody glances your way and then glances away, and then you step behind the curtain. So you time it perfectly.
Perfectly.
Just perfectly. Mm-hmm. And she said it was the 3rd private room on the right. You go in there, and it's basically half the room is a platform with a futon on it, essentially. Yeah. And you pull up the futon, cut it open, and Pull the book out?
Well, I'm
Is that
going to
what
be
you did?
delicate about it because I don't want to ruin this and make it look like, so I'm going to find the pillow that she hid it in.
It's in the futon,
Yeah,
according to what she said.
I'll slit it. I'll slit it in a way that if I fold it under after I take the book out, it won't be as noticeable immediately.
Make a deception roll
Perception, okay.
with your agility.
With my agility, okay.
Do you have deception as a skill?
Yes, I do.
So 2d6 plus your agility. You need a 9.
And that I did easily. I got a 12.
You easily feel in it where the book is. Aha. And you actually, now that you look and feel it, you see like there's like you can see where it was stitched up. So you cut those stitches, pull the book out, and just like lay it back down. And unless somebody lifts it up and looks under it, no one will ever know you pulled it out.
And the book will disappear into the pocket of my little thing.
Excellent.
And I'll come out of the curtained area looking like I went in there looking for something and got disappointed.
Aww.
Yeah.
Somebody walks up to you.
Yeah.
Young man, bland looking, kind of a. Oh, who's the guy who played Ant-Man? Paul Rudd? You know who Paul Rudd is?
Yeah.
I just watched that.
Picture him, but like when he was 20, because he's like 50 now. He like doesn't age. He looks exactly the same.
Okay, so imagine him 5 years ago, back when he was in his 40s, because that's when he looked like he was in his 20s.
Exactly. So that guy comes up, and he is a new guy, and he's like, "Hi, can you? I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. Do you need? I'm sorry. Hi, my name's Ball. Do you want? Well, how's it going? Hey."
I put my arm into his. I think I can dally for a little while because the coat can come off and be laid carefully so that nothing gets noticed that's in it. So we'll take him into the room and play with him for a little while.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He learns things from you.
Okay. And then this time I will come out of the room happy.
And he comes out following behind you, looking a little bit like, well, that was, well, that's not how I thought that would go, but
well,
yeah.
Call me pleasantly surprised.
If you're still around in another couple of weeks, and I'm still around in another couple of weeks, I'll look you up.
Okay. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to, wait, no, that's not how that's supposed to go. Well, I look forward to seeing you again.
Bye. And then I'll go find Eldon.
Eldon's downstairs, and
there are like 6 empty plates all around me with like chicken bones and like the bits and pieces of food all over it, and I'm reading a book.
I'll look at it. I'll look at you, the plates. I'll look at you. As hungry, weren't we?
I figured I better stock up. It's going to be a busy night.
Okay, well, we're leaving now.
Okay, good, cool. Did you get what you came for? He said, leaving a completely open question.
I really got what I came for. Yeah, it was.
All right, congratulations.
all right.
Paul Rudd is 52. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
You're
sorry,
right.
what's that?
I'll actually say
Paul
to
Rudd,
Eldon,
he's actually...
just in case somebody's listening, I'll say he was lots of fun. He was so cute.
So the book is about this size. It's like your typical hardback book size. Well, what I think of as typical hardback book size. All right. So Zhuur-Al and Eldon do what? You have to go back to Newtown. There you go. A little bit smaller than that, but still about right.
Definitely not a Neil Stevenson hardback book.
Why, with a sticker?
Neil Stevenson is
And as
writer.
far as
who's-
you can tell, Eldon, she's not carrying a book. You can't tell.
That's good. You know, Neil Stevenson is one of these writers who is well known for being incredibly prolific and wordy. I was packing books today and realized that I had put not 5 of his books into one box, and it was almost too heavy to lift. 5.
Yeah. Well, Anathem was what, 1,200 pages, something like that.
Yeah.
Well,
Imagine Anathem,
that's just
System of
crazy.
the World books, and Reamd. All 5 of those, which also is Reamd is probably twice the size of Anathem. It was.
That's about a paper box worth of books.
Yep. Yes, it was.
Just
crazy.
5 of them. Yeah.
Okay, so Eldon and Zhuur-Al go where?
I guess we're headed back to the safe house, aren't we?
Cool. Make some perception rolls, the 2 of you. If you don't have the skill, you roll 1 die. If you have the skill, you roll 2 die. And it's
I've got the
reason.
skill. Of course, I rolled really crappy, but
So
9.
did I, so you don't have to roll particularly well. You need to roll a 7 or more.
I rolled a 9. Perception roll, Leslie.
Oh, okay. And what am I rolling that with?
Choose if you have
That's reason.
Reason? Okay. My total was 10.
You both made it. You're reasonably certain nobody's following you.
Okay. I'm not heading back to the safe house. I'm assuming we arrange someplace else to meet? Because you guys were sending out the messages and stuff like that.
You were there when we got the.
Yeah.
Were you there when we got this book?
Well, I mean,
We're still there.
the plan is hiding the book on the rooftop, but we hadn't really specified when.
Okay.
You can choose now where you want to meet. I don't care.
Okay.
They're not being followed, and they know they're not being followed. So you can just pick some place. You can be at the safe house. You can
I
be
would say
somewhere else.
we
I don't
meet.
care.
Maybe meet near the bathhouse, at that little coffee shop we were at.
Okay, yeah. The good thing, we can meet in like the center or somewhere near the center of Old Town, just because it's not the sort of place where they expect crimes to happen.
It's true.
So it's a nice staid.
Okay, so everybody meets
Low
at
crime area.
the coffee shop down the block from the bathhouse. Not a problem.
Yep. Mhm.
So you guys are waiting there for her and for Eldon, and then Zhuur-Al and Eldon arrive and sit down.
So what's the book?
Well, we need to be a little more private to do that. So, where do we want to be? Where do we want to move to so we can? We could move to the roof of that building, and you can look at it before we hide it.
So, question here: who might have actually been to the Botanical Tea Room before today? Ogilvy. Ogilvy knows that the roof of the Botanical Tea Room is part of the Botanical Tea Room. There's like a little gazebo kind of a thing with like grapevines and tables, and people sit up there and drink tea and look out over the city and the river from up there.
Okay, when does it close?
Populated area during the day.
How late is the tea room open?
Usually until just after sundown.
Okay. Okay, and what time is it now?
1
Okay.
afternoon.
Yeah, so we got to kill some time before we head over there.
Brandon, where am I living at this point?
Where do you want to be living?
I assumed I was living somewhere in town and in some like out of the way location.
We can go to your place.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about it is
You can be
there are books there.
literally anywhere you want to be.
Yeah.
Okay, I will offer this to you, Lloyd.
All right.
There's actually where I want to make sure I say it. There's Zbysek, who's the most well-known mage in town. There's Dame Agatha, who lives at the edge of town, just on the edge of Newtown, who's not generally well regarded, but from your experience is knowledgeable in her particular fields.
Yes.
And then, of course, you've just got random rimming houses you could stay in if you want to. So you can pretty much be anywhere you want to be.
Ideally, someplace in town near Zbysek, because I assume he was my mentor. But I don't want to be staying at the same place as him because I assume he's an irascible old man. And
Yes.
I'm not cleaning his damn boots anymore. So
Yeah, 3 weeks of that was enough.
pretty much, yeah. So yeah, somewhere close, anyway, within easy walking distance of his place.
Cool. So you're at a rooming house a half block away
All right. Then
in
yes,
Old Town.
right. Then in which case go there. All I want to do is kill time and look at the book and see what it is.
Yeah, let's go to his place.
Because if it's an arcane tome, then who knows?
All right. Does everybody go to Eldon's flat
Sure.
in Old Town?
Yeah, I want to know about this book too.
You get
Would
to
you-
Eldon's flat. It is a 2-room
I
flat in Old Town on the second floor of a building. A
I
3-floor
tell
building.
Eldon we might want to disguise Chassis so that they don't know where we are.
I've got a question. So where is Ilyana right now?
She's at my house.
Okay, just checking.
I told her to stay there because she's probably safest there.
Fair enough. You're
Mhm.
probably right. You go to Eldon's place. Zhuur-Al gives Eldon the book to look at.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I don't care. I'd like to
Eldon.
see this book too.
It is it's leather over wood is the binding,
Mhm.
and then the pages are like a almost very, very thin leathery sort of vellum.
Mhm.
Right.
But then you start looking at it, and it is a completely dull, boring, matter-of-fact description of the weather and local fauna of this particular area.
So why the hell does
Check it for magic.
does anybody get
Make a
killed?
roll.
Okay.
So Eldon, okay, you're pulling points off your arcane power each time, right? Because you can't do this
Yeah.
forever. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I've spent 4 so far. So
Okay.
I assume this one's going to cost 1 more for just a detect magic.
1.
Okay.
You need to roll at least 11.
15.
You do. There is magic on this book.
Aha. All right. Then cast another spell to analyze. 15.
You need 17
Oh,
to cast that correctly.
Nope.
Okay, you fail at that, but you know that you fail.
Right.
It doesn't cost you any points.
Okay. All right. Well, there's some kind of magic on it, but I don't know what.
it's probably something hidden.
You can keep trying. There's no harm in trying. You're not in combat or anything.
Okay.
Ogilvy, do you know any
Oh.
magic that might be able to figure this out?
Avanti looks over at the book and Eldon goes, "There's magic in the weather?"
There's something hidden
Yes.
in the book.
Yes, there is. But there's
There's
also
something
something
in the
magical in the book.
Well, yeah, the book is about the weather.
Brandon, on my second roll, I rolled a 17.
Exactly as much as you need. So that costs you whatever it costs you.
Down to 14.
And yes. Illusion.
Okay.
There's an
Well,
illusion on the book.
I could probably have figured that one out on my own.
You
but
probably could have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It's nice to have it confirmed.
So the book isn't what it appears, I take it.
Correct. No, it's an illusion.
Okay. I guess
How many
I'll-
arcane power you got left, Floyd?
too.
I'm just curious.
14.
Oh, you got tons. All right. You can do this all
I
day.
started with 21. So yeah.
He could
So
do this
you're gonna
all
break
day.
the illusion?
What's that?
You're gonna break the illusion?
I'd have to study in order to do that.
Oh, bugger. We don't have time for that, I'm guessing. Now, maybe we can put an illusion on another book and make them think it's the book they're looking for.
I've got a few books.
What if
But
it's
now
not
then we
even-
would have to leave town. And then Ilyana might still be in danger.
Well, it depends on what goes down tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm reasonably certain that Radu is not inviting that lady up to the tea room at midnight in order so that the two of them can have a literary discussion about this book.
Oh, I'm sure that there's going to be a fight between the Copper Blades and Ilyana, and maybe Radu and some of his people will be involved, and it might be interesting to watch.
So yeah, it may end up at the end, we may end up in possession of the book anyway.
Yeah.
In which case I'll have time to look it over, find out what's in it.
So what do you do now?
When we know the tea room is closed, we can go hide the book. I'm guessing, because I can climb walls. So
Why don't we have that same delivery service deliver the book? Why do we go hide it?
Feels like we should keep our sights on the book now that we have it.
yeah.
Okay.
And he didn't say that we were supposed to deliver the book. He just said we were supposed to have it.
Well,
Yeah, look the instructions over one more time. What did Radu
Yeah,
say
make
about the
sure.
disposition of the book?
See
I
if he
don't
has
recall him
any
saying he wanted it.
No, he does not want that. I'm not saying he doesn't want it. I'm saying that's not a condition of his participation.
That's not in his instructions, yeah.
Yeah, that's not what he explicitly wants from this whole deal. What he wants from this whole deal is a face-to-face with Lady Miroslava.
Okay.
Everything else is kind of like just to make that happen.
So
Right.
we don't technically have to give the book to her.
Well,
According
we're
to
in the clear with
instructions.
Radu anyway.
Not
Give it to us
if
now.
we can get Radu face to face with her before we hand over the book in such a way and have that meeting result in her no longer looking for the book.
Yeah,
That
at some,
sounds awful
at
complicated.
some point, I'm sure Lord Zabrovic and Lady Miroslava are probably going to want this book back.
Yeah, somebody's going to want the book back.
Well, we can just put it up there somewhere. Maybe hide it in plain sight. I don't know.
Just give it to the
Once the place is
survivor.
closed, we can put the book up there wherever we want it once the place is closed. I don't want to be part of handing the book over.
I think Eldon has the right thing. The survivor gets the book.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that this all may go across completely peacefully and everybody may just be very civilized about it, but that's not the way I'm betting.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
So
and
what do you do? What do you know?
surprise.
We're coming up on 10, and I don't want this to make anybody turn into a pumpkin.
As far as I'm concerned, just wait for midnight and be
Wait
at the
for-
appointed place at the appointed time.
I think we should get up there early.
Well, yeah.
So, like after dark, once the tea room closes, head over to the tea room.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, so you don't try to dispel whatever magic is on the book. You send out you have sent out your various invitations. Evening closes, the tea room closes, and you go surreptitiously to the tea room. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. When you get there, there's nobody there. The building is empty. The door you go to is open. It's not locked. It has a lock. It's not locked.
Oh,
He might have arranged that. Right.
Yeah. I'm not going to assume he has. I'm going to assume somebody else has already broken in.
Yeah. I'm
But-
thinking that the book should
Well,
be
no,
placed by somebody
I'm not
who can do
going to.
invisibility.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not going to assume anything because Avanti doesn't know what locks are. They're for keeping animals in, not people.
So then what? You're in the building. You're on the bottom floor. It has 3 floors and then a roof.
Under the
so
roof.
uh, what's the one that's the name that starts with a Z?
Zabravik? Constantine Zabravik?
Leslie's character.
Oh, Zhuur-Al.
Zhuur-Al. You had mentioned something about climbing. Do you climb up in order to avoid any potential traps or pitfalls inside, so that the book for sure makes it up there and we can handle anything on the inside?
And I can find a side of the building that's a little less visual.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm walking up the stairs.
Who has the book?
Me, probably. In my
And you're
coat.
climbing up outside to the roof.
Yep.
Okay. Is everybody else inside the building going up steps?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. There are no traps. Nobody ambushes you. You get to the roof. Either way, you get there. There's nobody there.
Uh-huh.
There is like a gazebo type thing with tables and a pergola above it with vines and flowers and wisteria and stuff like that.
Trellises.
Yeah, exactly. The chairs are upside down and on the tables. It has clearly been.
Is there a place in the wisteria that one can slip the book where it won't be obvious?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Just climb up and just like set it on top, and
Yep.
you know, no one's going to see it.
Yep.
Okay, you're looking up. Who's looking down? Anybody?
I'll be looking down over the rooftop, looking down, checking the street.
I'm already there.
Jacob and Avanti. Jacob and Avanti make perception rolls. Okay, I know it's late. We're at 10. I'll try to wrap this up soon. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I did fairly well. A 9 that time.
Oh.
Same.
All you need is 9. Okay. Avanti and Jacob looking down. There's still people roaming around, you know, the milling about down there. And you almost don't notice it until you do. That, like, this person and that person from the milling, thinning crowd detach from the street and come toward your building. It's like this one, and then that one, and then this one, and then
We're
that
headed
one,
our
and then
way,
this one.
folks.
So there is a growing group of people who are approaching, and at this point are downstairs.
Uh-oh.
Over the course of, let's say, 15 minutes. It doesn't take a long time. Let's say your meeting was arranged for midnight. That's what you were told to arrange for.
Yeah.
It's currently like quarter till. And according to Jacob and Avanti's observations, there's probably a dozen people downstairs right now.
I would like to go down one floor and find a nice hiding place.
And once
Oh, wait, no, we have Eldon with us, don't we? And
yeah.
never mind, we have magic users. They can make us invisible and they'll never know we're here. I assume we don't need to be here. We're not supposed to be
No,
here.
we don't need to be here.
We're supposed to be arranged through the meeting and have them be here.
And me,
Well,
I'm
there was
just gonna
nothing-
go back down
there was
the
no-
road.
So our two
Sorry,
choices
Brandon.
are either to hide or take these chairs off of tables and start making drinks.
What'd you say, Lloyd?
There was nothing in the instructions that said we didn't have to be here, right?
That's correct. It didn't actually mention whether you had to be here or not.
Right.
I don't intend to be. I would rather watch from a safe distance myself.
It's probably a good idea if at least some of us, you know,
Make yourself
hidden in the shadows.
Everybody who has diplomacy, make a, or actually you can roll even if you don't, but if you don't have it, use one dice instead of 2. Diplomacy roll, everybody. Diplomacy reason this time. Need a 12.
I rolled a point.
Not even close.
10.
Oh shit. 11.
Craig Leslie?
I don't have diplomacy.
Well, I said roll so play. I'm not going to mention it. I rolled 5.
Okay, never mind. Moving on.
So, exactly. No, don't bother.
Yep. All right. Everything's fine.
So, I mean, if everybody hides, if somebody has to be here, I guess it's me.
I would
Oh,
like
I
to
would-
hide.
I was planning on
Like I
sticking
said,
around.
rather
too.
watch from a distance myself.
Okay. As midnight approaches, people
Then
are
I guess
coming up
we
the
should
stairs.
set up chairs
Clunk,
for
clunk,
the
clunk,
audience.
clunk, clunk,
Okay,
clunk, clunk,
um,
clunk, 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 clunk.
Brandon, is there
Everything was
building
very
that's
good.
taller? Brandon,
Oh,
is there a
Leslie?
building is there a building that's tall that's nearby that I can climb up to there and watch
No,
from there?
No,
Okay.
this is as tall as it gets.
Okay.
You're stuck with us.
Then I'm going to probably slip down the side of the building and maybe follow everybody up from behind them when they start the meeting.
Ooh.
All right. Okay.
Maybe.
Is anybody still watching the street?
If I'm going back down, I'll be probably looking first.
Okay,
So I'm-
Zhuur-Al
yes,
could probably see. Anybody else keeping an eye on the
Yes,
street?
I'm intending to watch the street the whole time. Yes, even if
So
Avanti leaves.
Zhuur-Al and Jacob, you don't need to roll. I will just show you this because you're there. This lady arrives at virtually the last minute. Like, there are 24 of various forces, and you're not sure who's with who, but you do know that there's at least 2, maybe 3 different factions because they are clumped and hostile
This
to
is
each
gonna
other.
be very
So you
messy.
can kind of tell that there's groups that are hostile to each other. There's like a dozen of this and a dozen of that, and then there might even be a third one. You're not sure. This
One
lady
that
shows
wasn't
up.
invited.
What?
One that was not invited, some that were not invited.
That's an assumption you could make. This lady shows up and joins one of them. And she is giving orders, and she's taking names, and she's in command, and she knows exactly what's going on. And that's
Good
what's
for
going
her.
on there.
She seems important. Okay.
Who's probably
Well,
Lady
she seems
Miroslava.
important to at least a third of the group on the street. Then, figures in hoods and cloaks with like clawed hands and pustulent skin and weird kind of misshapen faces come out of the shadows and grab her and drag her off into them. Just and there's like a big fight at the street level.
Oh, wow, that was easy.
Like, oh wait, oh man, it's all happening down
I
there.
told you he was going to eat her.
Guys, I think the copper blades just took the lady. I'm thinking that's not good.
No,
I told
no, I
you
think
he
it's
was
Rad.
gonna
I
eat
think
her.
it's Radu's people who got her.
I said, I
I
told you he
think
was going to
Daddy's
eat her.
doing it just, and he's going to blame it on the copper blades.
Oh.
Probably. Hey, I don't care.
Wait,
Oh,
who is-
Bobby, you
Do
didn't find
you
the name
do you
on those
intervene
letters, did
with
you?
what's happening 3 floors below you on the street, or do you just watch it play
No.
out? Because it becomes basically chaos down there for a
I'm
good
wi-
15 minutes.
I'm willing to let the social Darwinism take its course.
I'm pulling out my crossbow, but I'm not sure who to fire at, so I'm not actually doing anything with it. Just kind of like, I'm not sure what to do, so I don't do anything.
I'm just watching.
Like,
At this point, we could
you'll
just be
go
dropping
over-
rocks into the crowd for all the good we're going to do for, trying to attack or defend anybody down there.
Nope.
Yeah, Avanti will look over and go, Ogilvy, you didn't sign those letters, did you?
No.
Oh, good.
I guess we get to keep the book then.
Cool. That means I can find out what it is.
All right. Well, if you just like watch things play out, it eventually resolves in the various groups. Like they were attacking each other, then they withdraw into like clumps and kind of like drift cautiously away from each other. Behind you, in the dark area of the roof of the Botanical Tea Garden, a lantern is lit, which at least a couple of you will notice out of the corner of your eye because it was dark until now, and then you're like, wait, what?
Turn around and look.
Yeah.
Well, underneath the pergola in the grapevines and so forth, there's several tables, and at one of the tables, a lantern has been lit, and there's somebody sitting there.
Who is it?
Cool.
Who is it?
Well, you'd have to go over there and look.
I will go over there and look.
Then I'll go over there and look.
It's a dwarf, a man, dwarf. His mustache and hair and beard are all very intricately braided. It's extremely intricate, and
That must have taken hours.
hours and hours and hours. So, and
Per
he's, in
day.
front of him, there's like a little picture with like very delicately enamel painted flowers and vines on the little pitcher, and a little teacup and a little saucer that match that. And he's like,
Do I know who this person is?
and he's like short and wide because he's a dwarf. Did I mention he's a dwarf?
You
Yeah.
did?
Yeah, dwarf. All right. So he's like,
Mm-hmm.
but he's like,
Do I
would
know
you
who
like
this
some
person is?
tea?
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yes.
He gestures at a table to the side where there is a little platter with several more teacups and saucers and so forth, and also a little platter of crisp, sweet cakes.
I'll come cautiously over.
I'll go over, but stand a ways away.
Are you our host tonight?
Yes.
It was quite a show.
This was the person we did not get the name for, probably.
Well, I can't take credit for the show, but I am your host for tonight. Please have some tea. Enjoy the hospitality of the house.
Thank you.
Yep. Avanti will very politely have some tea. Well, as politely as a pig farmer can. He'll try.
I can say this is the best tea I've had in Vodnibrana. You should try it.
Never
So,
had tea.
do you have the book?
Not on me now.
That's disappointing.
But just like the girl, I know where it is.
My employer has extended me the authority to offer you freedom in exchange for the book.
Who is your employer?
Normally, I would not. Normally, that's a matter of confidentiality. But I think since you and I both know who I work for, I don't think there's any harm in telling you. And I think it might avoid further unpleasantness. Lord Konstantin Zabravik.
Oh, okay.
Have we heard that name? I don't remember that
Yeah.
name.
That's the
Yeah,
Lord.
he's
right?
the boyfriend of Ilyana. He's the guy who owns the book.
No,
I'll
he's
tell you.
Lord.
He's
the dad.
according to one theory, he's Ilyana's father.
Father, yeah.
Oh, right. That's
He's
right.
the
According-
Lord.
According
He's
to
the one that Copper
rumor,
Blades work for.
yes. According to rumor,
Okay, that's right.
he controls the Copper Blades
Okay.
in much the same way as Lady Miroslava controls the Spyglass Society.
Hey, I don't care.
But we're already free.
Oh,
And we had nothing to do
no,
with it.
no, you're not.
Do you know Radu?
Radu, lizard folk.
Yes.
He has his uses. Was he part of tonight's agreement?
Yes.
Thank you. That's useful to know.
I don't care if he knows.
So the book. You have it nearby, I assume. Otherwise, why would you be here?
Yeah, walk over and get it.
Actually, I just point up to the. I just point up to the trellis.
So Eldon reaches up to the trellis and pulls it down.
And Avanti goes, see, it was out of my reach. I couldn't get it for you, just like I said.
Oh, wonderful. Well, if this is the book, then I can assure you that Lord Zabrabek has no further interest in you, and you are free to leave your lives and go to hell in your own way.
I'm interested in that place.
And the Spyglass Society is taken care of too, right? Because they said that
They're annoying.
That's not within my purview,
Mhm.
but I suspect they have bigger fish to fry.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
The book.
Pass it over.
Okay, he casts this. Okay, Ogilvy and Eldon, you don't need to make a roll. I'll just tell you. He casts Detect Magic. He casts Dispel Magic. He casts Detect Magic. He opens it up and looks at it. He closes it. Our deal is done. Have a good evening. A good evening.
Can you tell us what the
Yeah, remember that
is
dispel magic.
special about the book?
Wait, what?
Can you tell us what's so special about the book?
No.
You really think he would? I didn't think so.
If you don't ask, the answer's always no.
Yeah.
This has actually been one of the more pleasant of these sorts of situations I've sat in on, so thank you for that.
All right, Brandon, I'm going to try one more thing before he takes off with the book.
Okay.
Since he's dispelled the illusion on the book, I want to try and read it now, magically. But I want to do it without him noticing it.
Oh wow, that's gonna be difficult. Let me see.
Yes.
So you got range, you got surreptitious, you got something that's not normal, which is reading something without flipping through it.
Right. No, I don't want to read the book as in read all the words on it. I want to read the magic on it to see what kind of magic is on the book.
Let's say -3.
Okay.
Both cost and
I'll
skill.
try and I can distract him by asking him about biscuits.
I'm gonna say
One's a little bit-
That's
wherever they
not
are.
gonna work on this guy.
Yeah.
So you're -3 on your skill roll, and if you do the focus and stuff, I think that drops it to 2 on the cost. And you need to roll a 15.
I am going to use a plot point because I just screwed up the roll.
Add another die.
Okay. 11, 16.
Just barely. So you're not like literally reading it word for word, right? You're just getting the gist of it.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. It is a prophecy of the coming of the age of the Writhing Dark, which is an age of darkness and corruption and like things corroding and being eaten by tiny bugs.
Oh, in other words, Cthulhu's coming.
No. No. Looking around the city, it's current events.
No, this is worse. This is worse.
We're talking apocalyptic, end of the world kind of shit, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so 20 years ago.
You can tell
Okay.
later.
I'll file that away for future reference.
Oh, and like -1 more because you didn't want him to notice, but you rolled one more than you needed, so it's cool.
Okay,
So
good.
it's cool.
Yeah, I would rather have failed the spell than him notice me trying to do it.
Yeah. He did not notice you doing it, and this book is a herald of terrible things to come, mostly involving like corruption and deterioration and worms and corrosion and
Cthulhu's
As I
coming.
said, current events.
Okay.
Cthulhu's coming.
Anyway, he's happy to have the book, closes it, and says our business is done. Have a good evening. Feel
Ciao.
free to take some cakes with you.
Oh yeah. They disappear. Some of them.
So what you guys do? You go away or what?
Yeah,
I
pack
would.
up the leftovers for Jasu.
We did what we had to do.
Piggyback.
Lady Miroslava is probably Radu's dinner. But hey.
Lady Miroslava was dragged into the sewers by creatures, humanoid creatures, but creatures in like hooded robes. Eldon has a unsavory impression of the book.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, well, we'll go back and let Ilyana know that.
Oh, when you get back, Ilyana's gone. Thank you for asking about that.
Well, I don't care.
Ilyana's gone. There is a letter waiting for you. Hang on, I got this somewhere.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, we were only expected to
Her stuff is missing. There's no sign of a struggle. And there's a note. It says, "Thank you. I know you did this to help yourselves as much as you did to help me, but thank you." And that's all that's left of Ilyana.
As long as she's safe, that's good.
Hopefully, the Spyglass Society and Grigori showed up at noon yesterday at the Legend.
I think she left on her own. I really do. So.
Yeah, well, no. Remember, we had planned for Grigori to meet us at noon and for the Spyglass Society to meet us at noon, and then we weren't even there that day.
Yeah.
It's true.
But I am thinking if Eldon shares his knowledge about the book and we know what grabbed Lady Miroslava.
Yes. Once we're at her safe house.
Okay, back at Zhuur-Al's safe house,
yes.
You find Ilyana's gone. You find her note, and then Eldon shares what?
Yes. I finally figured out how to do a proper read spell on the book while the dwarf guy had it. And I figured out what the book is. It's a book of dark prophecies about the coming of the world of corruption and mostly bugs, like worms and bugs and things like that.
Is there a place we can go where we can like be outside of this influence?
Sorry, I wasn't able to get the details, but it's
well, maybe we might want to.
It's like dark religious magic kind of stuff.
The best place to go would be somewhere where bugs and worms are good, right?
Well, I figure at some point we're probably going to be bumping into that again.
Probably.
I can only hope that he's smart enough to know that he shouldn't be messing with it rather than actually trying to bring it on. Because that never works out.
No.
You would think that.
His last words are going to be, "I created you. You are my greatest creation," right before he eats him. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure Radu ate Lady Miroslava.
Yeah. If she's lucky, that's all he did.
I was thinking his last words would be, "Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what happens if I do this."
If I cook that, yeah.
Well, I'd rather not be at ground zero when it happens.
When that particular bomb
we
goes
might
off.
have a chance of fighting it if we're alive someplace else.
Well, I could probably find it again if we wanted to steal it.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to have anything to do with it myself.
Okay, cliffhanger. Wait, let me. Outside, do you? I almost hate to ask this. Do you want to keep playing this, or do you want to change to something else?
I'm good with this.
This is fun.
But I do need, if we're going to do a little bit of Marvel, I do need characters from Brandon and Craig and Emily.
Really? I thought I gave you one. All right.
You gave me an idea. You didn't give me stats.
Oh, do I need to do that? I will do that in the next day or
three. And I need that from Emily and Craig too.
Marvel something, or Heroes is something that I'm really not good at. I don't know that I'm going to be able to play that one. Honestly.
I think
you seem like you're a natural Captain America type to me.
Huh?
You seem like a natural Captain America type to me. like you know what's right, you know what's wrong. You got a shield, and you're Come at me, bro. But
part of my hang up was in college. Whenever I would start to try to get into champions or something, every idea came with like, oh, that's been done, or that's trite. And I'm like, well, fuck it then. I won't do anything then. I'm not playing with you.
man,
It's all been
everything. Okay, just set that aside. Everything has been done.
Well, it's
Superheroes have been around for 90 years.
set me in my
Everything
role.
has been done. Just pick what you want to do. What? You think like the dwarf with the
No, I know.
braided beard who's like a magician hasn't been done? No, that's been done. It's been done like 1,000 times.
In high school.
Do what you do, man.
Yeah. In high school, my English teacher told me there's a very famous quote that says, "Nothing is original and all stories are stolen." It is usually attributed to Shakespeare, but it could have been Voltaire.
Yeah.
Yep. Good artist
There
borrow,
you go.
right artist steal.
So
Right, guys.
don't sweat whether it's been done, man. It's
Yeah.
been done. My character for Leslie's game is the Human Torch, but it's a chick. So it's been done.
My
So-
character for Leslie's game, I literally stole from the Asgardian write-up.
Yeah, he's an Asgardian god, and
I'm-
Donald does wire foo, and
Yeah, I'm the last airbender dressed as the Monkey King.
yeah, and your handler, I guess, is for the better word, is a Highlander immortal.
Anyway, guys, I gotta go to bed. So
I do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, what was? Man, I wanted to do one more thing before we closed.
You said something about a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I did. What were we doing?
We're getting ready to
Book of
decide whether
Evil.
or not we want to get out of Dodge.
I had a thought, and we got
evil book?
sidetracked. There's a book, and there's the. God damn it! I had a cliffhanger. I swear I did.
Send me an email.
We got sidetracked by superheroes. I don't know. I'll email you.
No.
Okay.
I'll
Send us
remember
an
it an
email.
hour from now. So,
Okay, send me an
All
email.
right.
have a
Good
good night.
Good night,
Thank you for
everybody.
playing. So you do want to play again? Is what
Oh
we
yes,
here.
oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Have a good night, everybody. Bye bye.
Night.
Right?
Right.